Hello folks, welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Corrine.
I'm Sean, and today we're standing out in the north rim or on the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yes, we're at Bright Angel Point, and although it's midweek, it's Thanksgiving week and there's lots of people here with us.
Yes, a very, very busy spot. But despite that, and apologize for some of the noise behind us, but we're going to try to do some photography out here and some sunset photography. We don't have any clouds tonight, but it is a beautiful night, and the winter sun tends to run up one of the canyons, so it really lights everything in an absolutely beautiful way, and hopefully we'll be able to capture that. So the plan tonight is to capture that light coming up the canyon. And it usually turns out to be quite a lovely, lovely shot. Now I'm doing something a little different than the last time we were here. Last time we were here I was much further along and shot straight down the canyon. Tonight I'm actually working at trying to get the peaks on the left-hand side to be more prominent in the photograph. And let me give you a shot so you look at it. And as you can see, things are very, very hazy right at the moment, so I'm not sure whether that's going to add or take away from the photograph. We'll have to see as it develops tonight.
I'm set up a little bit higher elevation than Sean, but we're generally pointed in the same direction. And I've got a filter on to help reduce the brightness of the sky. It's a neutral density graduated filter, 3 stops. And I have an ISO of 100, and I'm focusing off into the distance to look at a rock spire. I'm hoping as the sun sets that it's going to create a nice beam of light coming up the canyon. And so we'll see how that works out. It's maybe a little early yet, so we'll be hanging out for a few minutes and watching the sun go down. Here's the view from my vantage point. And you can see there's quite a bit of haze across there in the canyon. I've had to raise my tripod up pretty high to avoid these very bright white rocks in the foreground. So I'm shooting over top of that and shooting down towards the rocky pinnacles out there to the south. So this is the view from my camera, and we're looking out over the Grand Canyon from Bright Angel Point. Well, a little up from the very end, and the rocks out here are lighting up quite nicely now. As the sun has been moving more and more to the west, we've been getting more light on the rocks out in the distance, which has been just gorgeous. So getting the last rays. It's sunset now, and we'll be wrapping up shortly.
Good morning, folks.
We're here in the Kaibab National Forest. It's snowed up in this area last week, and this is at an elevation and shaded area, so the snow here didn't melt. We're close to the main road, 67, that goes into the north rim of the Grand Canyon, but under the trees here it's a little snowy. The main road has been plowed, so we can still get to the north rim, and we were out there to do some photos yesterday.
Yep, we've had a great time out there yesterday, and this turned out to be a great camp spot. We have it virtually all to ourselves. It's quite large and not very far off the road. One of the challenges in boondocking in the wintertime, especially when you get into snowy areas, is a lot of the forest roads become quite impassable. and that makes it difficult to find spots.
Yeah, so we're close to the main road, and the snow here is less than 2 inches, so we had no trouble getting in. We're getting a few flakes falling today, which we didn't expect. Yesterday was a clear day. I don't think there'll be any accumulation today, but this is probably the last week or so when people can boondock out here before the snow gets pretty consistent.
Yeah, and the temperatures at night get pretty cold. Last night they weren't too bad, they were in the 20s. The night before they were in the teens. So having a really good furnace and a way to keep warm is really important out here.
But we've enjoyed the spot. It's been nice and quiet. We've had the place to ourselves, and it was a good night's sleep.
Yeah. A couple things to remember when you're coming to the North Rim is that you're going to do a lot of driving. So make sure your car has lots of fuel. In the wintertime, the fueling station at the North Rim is closed. So the last place that you can get fuel is at Jacob Lake, and that's a good 50 miles from the park entrance. The other thing to remember is if you're coming at any time after the beginning of November, they could have snow and Highway 67, the road into the park, could be closed. So make sure you have a plan B when you're coming into this area. And of course, Kanab is not very far away, so there are lots of other things to do.
Well, we've taken a drive out one of the forest roads off Highway 67 that goes down to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. And we've come out into the Kaibab National Forest area to a spot called the East Rim.
And we've gone for a little walk along the edge here, not very far, but it's absolutely gorgeous out here today. White puffy clouds, sun's kind of coming in and out of the clouds, and light snow on the ground. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
And this location is partway along the Arizona Trail, which goes from the border of Utah all the way down to the border of Mexico. It's over 800 miles, and we're here about 50 miles south of the Utah border.
So yep, you have about 750 miles to go if you're standing here right now and heading for Mexico. So a long trail. Looks like it's very, very well maintained. Lots of entry points, and the trail itself looks like it's just beautifully maintained.
And from here, you could walk to the North Rim if you just want a short walk.
Yeah, and actually connect with the Rim to Rim trail and eventually ending up on the South Rim.
So we're going to continue on down the road. We're going to check out some new viewpoints for some photography tonight.
Yep. Our next stop was Point Imperial. It's located inside the North Rim of the Grand Canyon National Park. Point Imperial is also the highest viewpoint in the park. Hi folks, so Karina and I have driven up to Point Imperial as part of the North Rim of the Grand Canyon National Park. It has got to be one of the most beautiful spots we've ever been in terms of a single overlook. It's absolutely gorgeous up here, and to even cap everything off, we've just got these beautiful white puffy clouds and light beaming on the various pinnacles out behind me and to my left. Absolutely gorgeous. We'll show you some photographs that we took.
Today's our Thanksgiving Day, and because we're going to be out doing some photography tonight for the sunset, we're going to have our Thanksgiving dinner at lunch. And I've made up some turkey pot pie that's deconstructed, and I pre-cooked it at home and froze it in a good Ziploc bag. There's probably 2 meals in here. And I'm going to mix into it some rice that I've already pre-made. Both of these were in the freezer for a couple days while we were traveling. And we even have a nice dessert. I made up some mincemeat turnovers. These are the sweet mincemeats, similar to what the English mincemeat pie would be. And we'll have that with a little Cool Whip on top. So it should be a nice dinner. And here's our completed meals with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. We're here at Cape Royal on the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yep, we're going to spend the evening here, or at least the late afternoon here, and do some sunset photography here on the end of the Cape. Yes,
it's a 15-mile drive from the intersection where you can choose to either go to Point Inspiration or Point Imperial, sorry, or Cape Royal. And we stopped at Point Imperial just before lunch and then came out to Cape Royal for our lunch.
So we've finished our lunch. We've taken a little walk down here. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and we're doing a little reconnoitering. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Today, unlike yesterday when we were shooting at the North Rim
Bright Angel
Point, we've got some clouds in the skies today, so we're kind of hopeful that they'll continue to develop at some medium elevations and get a little color in the sky for us tonight.
So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we'll share with you the views at sunset.
One of the cool features of Cape Royal is Window Rock. We didn't spend much time here, but we did take a few minutes to take a few photographs. If you get the angle right, you could actually see the Colorado River through the window. Like Point Imperial, Cape Royal is an absolutely gorgeous location. You can spend hours just watching the light change on the rocks and the big features out in the distance. Really worth spending several hours, especially in the late afternoon or early evening.
So this is our view tonight. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm standing at the end of a point overlooking the canyons. And right now I am focusing on this area right here, which is getting lit up by the sun on occasion. Hopefully later on, this mesa here will light up a little bit more, and those clouds in the background there will light up as well. So that's my hope for later on. Although right now it's an absolutely beautiful sunset and golden hour. So this is where I'm shooting right at the moment. Now I have decided to shoot this as a series of panos. I'm not shooting a really huge pano. I'm basically starting from over on that peak, and I'm going to right at the edge of this peak. So not a lot of width for the pano. It's probably going to come out in a big square by the time I'm finished. And we're doing several of those because as I shoot each one, the light way over on those mesa on the other side of the Grand Canyon are starting to light up a little bit and look very nice in the background. So the shot I'm taking right now from here in the pano is, once your camera nice and level, it's a very straightforward shot. It's probably on manual mode. I'm shooting probably at about 30 millimeters, ISO 100, and then I'm just setting the speed to give me a nice histogram. that's what I'm doing. And when I switch over to this shot, I'll come back and say a little bit more. So Corinne's gone over to the other viewpoint. I'm just waiting until the big mesa lights up here. We're getting close, but we're still about 10-15 minutes away. I suspect I'm only going to have a minute or two to actually get the shot, and then it's just going to be done. So it's going to be one of those ones where you're going to have to be right on the ball, ready to go. I've got it all set up, and hopefully as I spin around here, you can see the camera's all set up behind me, and I'm ready to go. Just hoping the sun cooperates. It looks like it's going down almost in the perfect location, and I'm just having to wait at this point. Well, we had a terrific evening. When the lights started kicking off, we had to get busy really quickly. So we didn't get a chance to do much videoing while we were getting the last of the really good light. Corinne and I ended up switching spots. She's over on the point that I was on, trying to do some photographs of the moon. We sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you also want to keep track of us, please subscribe. That really does help us out, and we appreciate all our subscribers. And finally, if you want to know when we release videos, hit that little bell button. And as always, don't hesitate to leave us a comment, a thought, an idea, someplace you'd like to see us go. We love hearing from you and respond to all the comments that we get. So take care, good night, and we'll see you soon.